Kelsey, how would you assess the play of your receiver room through the first 4 games of the season?
I think we have had some success at points. I think our best is still out there. I really do. I think there's a responsibility piece to that we continue to prepare, and we'll continue to see these guys grow and progress. But I think we've had some success. But is it our max potential? I don't think we're anywhere close to that.
Coach, you got a guy going back home this week in Chaz Nimrod. What kind of advice do you give a player like that when they're going back home? That I'm sure that he wants to have a big showing in front of family and friends, to not push or press too hard, just kind of let the game come to him.
I think that's the message. When guys are older and mature, they understand that. You just kind of talk to them about his preparations, and things are going to happen the way they're supposed to. Obviously, there's a little bit more juice. There's a little bit more focus and attention there because he's going back home. But I think as long as he continues to prepare the right way, I think you ultimately get the stuff that you want.
What has the wide receiving room done, if anything, to adjust to what you've seen Nico's strengths be through these first 4 games?
Yeah, I think for one, we talk about Nico's ability outside of the pocket. I think it's forced those guys to really focus, and when plays break down, that they got to go be available and be targets for him. That's really the biggest piece. The other thing is when you got a quarterback and you got a talent like that, he just allows you to go and use your talents. So really he makes it a lot easier on us than it would be without him. But for the most part, the biggest thing has been with him being dynamic outside the pocket. We got to make sure we're being able to go become targets for him whenever he's outside the pocket.
Coach, back here, I guess it's been 6 weeks or so ago in the preseason, you talked about Dante Thornton's mindset, how the difference in him from last year, I guess lack of anxiety compared to a year ago. How much of a benefit has that mindset been to the way he's playing this year? What can you say about what he's done?
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing that he's done has helped him. That's been his biggest benefit. For him is just being able to go play free and play confident. And as long as he's doing that, I think we'll continue to get the best version of him. So I like what your question about Chaz was going back home. When you eliminate the distractions and the outside factors, and guys can just play free and confident, you typically get the best version of them. So that's what we're seeing with him.
The Dante question, you've got a deep room there, but you also have a hot hand in him. Is that a difficult decision each week to kind of figure out where the snaps should go when Dante's producing so much in limited time?
Yeah, I think, man, it's a lot like, basketball. You really got to identify what type of game it is. And if you got a hot hand, you got to feed it. That's really my mindset. He got, a bunch of snaps last game, Brew as well, because they were the hot hand. So when you've got a room like that, you got to be in tune and you got to be intentional with how the game's going and who's rolling, who's hot right now. And I think that helps you. Obviously, every guy's going to get an opportunity and get time, but that's something you definitely have to be in tune with.
Kind of following up on that, you said last time you were in here that one of the challenges you had to your group was to play well without the ball and to understand you've got to play well without the ball. Through 4 games, do you like where that's at? Is that mindset easier to keep or harder to keep as you progress going forward?
Man, I think that's a great question. I think at times it's been awesome, and I think sometimes it's been inconsistent. I think, even that part of our game, right, I think the best is really yet to come. I think our best is still out there. You see us at times like Brew last game, there's at times that he got a really tough look on corners and he was able to go fit a guy up without the ball and we creating explosives. And there's others where we don't have that same focus and that same intention. And it's the whole group. It's not just one guy. I think for, me as a coach, I got to continue to push these guys in practice to be consistent with that. And I think we'll continue to see it in games. So, man, at times it's been really good. Other times it's just been okay. That's an area we're going to continue to push.
I guess a similar question. You talk about your best still being out there. What's the one thing that you're harping on to the guys right now? What needs to happen in order for you all to reach your absolute best?
We got to go compete. This league's hard. Every opponent we have in this league is going to be a freaking elite opponent. We got to go compete. We got to do our best in practice. We got to focus and prepare our best in meetings, and we got to go strain and get everything we can because each week is going to be it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough in this league. So I think for us, the mentality of guys just going to strain and compete and go give our best every single week, and then let the cards fall as they may. I think that's the mentality.
Kelsey, what have you seen so far from Chris Brazel, and how's he kind of acclimated the first few games, settling into the system?
Yep, Chris knows the system. He understands it. He's been really good at times, and then there's other times where he hasn't really been to the standard. I think, again, that's something that starts in practice. As he continues to go, he's obviously progressing and getting better. I think as long as he's got the right focus, he comes in with the right mentality, I think, the skies will continue to be the limit for him, but the consistency piece will continue to be the factor. If we can't be consistent, like you won't ever see the best of anybody in any position. So consistency for him will be the key.
What have you seen from Mike Matthews just in his continued development, and what does he do on the practice field that you're impressed by each week?
Been impressed with his maturity. He's grown up a ton from a football knowledge standpoint. He's always he wants to be a sponge. He's always asking questions. He's always in the building. He's a guy that, going down the stretch, he's going to continue to make plays for us because he's a guy that we're going to need to make plays on the outside.
Obviously getting ready for that Arkansas defense with guys like, I think it's Landon Jackson. How much are the wide receivers involved in the game plan when it comes to pass pro?
They're very involved, especially with personnel. They got to know who they're going against. They got to know tendencies and what to expect. That's something at the beginning of the week that we really harp on is personnel. And like I said, in this league, you're gonna play against elite personnel every week. So that's probably our main focus initially. And then as we get throughout the week, the scheme becomes more of the focus point. But the personnel is really good. We're playing a really good opponent. We're looking forward to going into a tough environment and competing our butts off.